There's a very big difference between overcoming something versus healing from something, because you can go through a really harsh point in your life and time will pass and you'll get over it, you'll get through it, but that doesn't mean you have healed from it just because you think you've let it go because time has passed, because you've gotten through it. The difference between overcoming something and healing from something is it's all mental. It's not about whether the experience has ended in the physical world. It's about, has the impact of the experience ended within your mind? Because every time you go through something, you will be scarred in some way, either positively or negatively. You will be changed. Now, the thing with negative changes is you can hit rewind, heal from it, and then you don't have to hold those wounds for the rest of your life. Because the more you go through these experiences and you don't heal from them, you will continue to build up wounds and you'll get triggered more often. Someone says something and that reminded you of that event, but you're not consciously aware of the fact that it's linked to that event that happened in your life. And you can use what triggers you as a tool to find out where your scars are, what your wounds are, where they came from. And you do need to overcome something before you heal from it. You can't heal from something in the midst of it. Like, I can't heal from depression when I'm depressed because I haven't gotten over that. I haven't gotten through it. It takes time. I have to get through the depression. And then with time, I look back, a new version of myself because of the changes and the lessons that I've learned through that experience, through getting through that experience. Now I can look back and heal from the wounds that it gave me. And you can have really small wounds. You can have a wound from someone just telling you you were hairy when you were younger and that changed you, and then that made you insecure for the rest of your life. Because things build onto each other. You hear something over and over. You hear even things that are in talking about similar aspects of your life. Like someone says you're really hairy. Someone says your hair is ugly. Someone says your nails have, I don't know. But let's say it has to do with the aspect of looks, and then you're insecure for the rest of your life because you haven't healed from that. And faking confidence can work if your problem is your mindset, if that makes sense. If you're just thinking you're ugly, if you're just pessimistic, then faking your confidence can work because you're basically just telling yourself, okay, I'm confident, and now you can just believe it. But if you're trying to fake your confidence when you have these wounds from your past that you haven't healed from, faking your confidence is going to make you feel like an imposter. It's going to give you imposter syndrome because you have these unhealed wounds from your past, these mental wounds that cause you to believe that you are ugly no matter how many times you tell yourself you're pretty or you're handsome. And that's why healing is really important, because once you've gotten over something, now you have your tool. You have your tool, which is to look back on your past and think, how did this make me feel? Is this true? Or is this just someone else projecting their insecurities onto me? Because the truth is, what anyone says to you is a projection of what's going on inside here. Everything that you say to someone else, it's all has to do with what's going on in your head. What's going on mentally, what you think mentally. What your values are. It's just how you work, how you process things. And like if I'm saying, oh, she's ugly or something like that, I'm just going to give an example. Like, oh, she's ugly. Then what does that say about me? That says that I'm insecure. I'm the insecure one if I'm saying that. Because why do I believe that about someone else that has nothing to do with me? Because I'm projecting my insecurities onto the other person. So healing will fix that problem. Healing is a solution to it all. Because now, okay, how do you heal? How do you heal? Let me talk about that first. You heal by looking back. So you overcome a situation. You look back on the situation and you think, how did this make me feel? What haven't I let go from this situation? What haven't I released? What am I holding on to? Because I can guarantee there's something you're holding on to. If there's something you aren't holding on to, you've healed from it. Because once you've healed from something, you've completely released that experience. You have nothing left for that, of that experience. But you're still holding on to some belief, to some emotion, to some grudge now that you have, something that has changed how you believe things to be, something that has changed your values. And what that does is now you can go through a very similar experience and you will process that negatively because of the previous experience you didn't heal from. So what you need to do is you just need to fully release that past experience. And that you can do that in many ways. You can do that in the form of crying. I personally like doing that because it's just a physical release. Or punching something. If you have anger issues, I don't want to say anger issues. If you prefer to release your emotions through physical combat, you should do that. I don't know. Go punch something. Go sign up for a boxing class and punch something. Go smash a plate into the ground. Obviously covered in a bag because you don't want to litter. But do whatever you need to do to release what you're holding on to. Once you've released what you're holding on to, you are freed from that experience. Because as long as you haven't healed from that experience, it's tethered to you. Everything it made you feel, everything it wanted you to believe is tethered to you. And you're letting that experience, that negative experience, win over you. Don't let that happen. You gotta heal. Also, other ways to heal. You could journal. I know journaling is really good. I journal. It honestly depends on what you prefer. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go through this 10-hour meditation retreat to do this. You just think. You just need to think. And that can be really hard in this society where we are constantly consuming media and just everything. We're consuming so much. But stop for a second, stop consuming, and start producing thoughts. Give yourself time, give yourself space, give yourself solitude so you can think about these things that have happened to you. Because I can guarantee there's something you feel that you really want to let out that's tied to a certain experience. And it can be it's so freeing when you let it go. Because you no longer hold on to that experience. So you no longer have to carry that wound with you. You're basically healing scars on your mind. You're healing scars on your mind from these experiences that left an impact on you. Now, they no longer impact you. They have caused you to grow instead of causing you to react to people, to get triggered, and to now act harshly against other people because of something. Like, that's why we have so many sensitive people in this world. Because they're just projecting. They haven't healed. That's the truth. They haven't healed. When someone honks at me on the street, like road rage, and I didn't do anything wrong because I'm going the speed limit, they're projecting however they feel onto me. Something they haven't let go of during the day. Something bad happened and you haven't let go of it. Why? Because you're not giving yourself time to think. But also, you can also use this, like, you're getting triggered over these experiences. Why? What caused you to get triggered over that experience? Why did I get so mad at that person for just doing something simple? It has to do with something in your past that you haven't healed from. So it's all a domino effect. I said this in the past few YouTube videos, but it's true. It's all domino effect. It's just like a spiral. But there's so much you don't even know you're holding on to until you give yourself time to think about how you feel. Like, I remember when I first started driving, that was my first time I got to really be alone from everyone for long periods of time. And the first few months, I would just start crying out of nowhere, and I didn't even know why. And when you don't know why, you're just physically releasing. It can be also getting angry. Why am I getting angry? Why am I crying? It's good to journal, because then you can put your thoughts out without having to verbalize them. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Without having to speak. Because I know that writing can be much easier than speaking when you want to talk about your emotions. Because when I want to talk about my emotions while speaking, communicating to other people, it's just word vomit, because there's so much going on in my head. But when you have pen and paper and you're writing, it's just things flow. You should always invest in a notebook and some paper. And some pen and oh my god, a notebook and a pen. Because there are just things you can't say out loud, you know? If I said the things out loud that I wrote in my journal, I would be in trouble. I would be in a lot of trouble. That's why you get a notebook, because it's personal to you. You can always burn it, but you can't take back what you said. So that's how you overcome. That's the difference between overcoming versus healing. While both are important, you need to overcome something to heal from it, because if you haven't overcome it, but we overcome everything in life, unless you kill yourself. But at that point, healing doesn't matter. So, yeah. Life is great. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. Post a comment if you like what I'm saying. I am posting this for my 0 views currently. Maybe if I make it big, you guys are gonna watch this And it's gonna be so bad compared to my future videos that you guys are gonna be like, whoa, what is this? I'm yapping now. Okay, bye.